I had a few problem areas in this turning. Almost made me want to give up. Make sure you stick around to the end and see that these problem areas actually become very nice features. This is a piece of Siberian elm. It's a trimming from our tree. It was trimmed almost 2 years ago and had it stored for a while. I didn't get it sealed and it's got a few cracks. It may have cracked anyways. But I want to make a natural edge bowl out of it. See if we can keep the bark on it. I don't know for sure. It's about 10 by 10 and about 5 inches thick. So as you can see, I've got a flat spot and a hole for the worm screw. So let's go ahead and get this mounted up and see what we can make out of it. I'm getting about 450 RPM right now. Freshly sharpened 5/8 hole gouge. Nice big piece of bark. That hollow sound is telling me that bark is not going to stay on this piece of wood, but I am determined to try to keep it. First warning of problems to come. We just lost a very big piece of bark. I did not want that to happen, but I expected it to. So this might be a naked piece of elm. Well, I'm not the least bit surprised that it came off. Do I want to try to put it back on? I don't know if I do. Don't know. That's not going to be real easy. Even though I probably only need that much of it right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get some thick CA under this and not worry so much about that because that's got to get cut away. And what might help the whole process is to cut this off so it's just not there. So I'm going to try that. I'll be back when the glue is set on there. Needless to say, another waste of CA and time, but I am bullheaded. So I let the CA sit for about an hour. I'm going to go ahead and give it another try and see if we can keep the bark on there, but if we can't, I think it'll still look alright. Still doing about 550 RPM. We've got to do something with the bottom here because it's going to have to get shortened up quite a bit. Still about 600 RPM. Another problem. That's a pretty bad crack. Not such a good. Yeah, all that bark's going to come off. I think I'm better off looking at this without the bark because it is not going to stay on. think I'll be able to tell a little better what kind of shape I can get just removing the bark. Well, I gave it a shot. I like the shape of this. It's got these little ears up here. I'm going to keep going. Cracks and all. But yeah, that was not going to work with that bark. But I think that's going to be pretty interesting. So let's just keep going. Okay, I'm going to stop for a while and remove all the bark. I don't know what I was thinking. That was never going to stay on there. I'll be right back. Alright, this is actually going to be easier cutting now because I don't have to worry about peeling the bark off. And I can get a nicer cut coming from here going up. Oh, good. Alright. I think I'm going to mix up some coffee grounds, fine coffee grounds, and some CA and fill that crack. I was kind of cleaning the bottom up and got clear over here, and it looks like I just about left a tenon on there, and that's just about the right size as well. Use this tool here with the diamond point on it. Found a couple more places that I'm going to fill with coffee grounds, and then we'll come back in. I think we're ready to sand this. I'm going to go over these CA patches with the negative rake scraper and just go over the whole thing and get it ready to sand. Okay, I think I got all the little cracks filled. Looks okay. I'll go ahead and sand it starting with 80 grit and work my way through 400. I'm going to sand with the lathe in reverse at about 320 because I found this wood sands a little bit better at around 300 instead of 400. I'm going to start my dust collector, get it sanded up, and when I come back we'll get a coat of sealer on there. I got it sanded to 400. It wasn't real easy, but it's nice and smooth now. It is also full of blemishes. There's little knots here all over the place. There was these cracks. I wouldn't say I considered stopping on it, but it was probably a thought in the back of my mind, and we're still not through. We got to do the inside. But I can tell you right now, when I get the finish on here, this is really going to look nice. So let's find out. I'm going to use shellac based sanding sealer. That just seems like the obvious thing for this piece. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, there's you can't stop on a piece like that. Look at that. Oh boy. And wait till the bark fell off. I think that was a good thing, because this area is going to look really nice. Real nice. So, I hate to even admit I had the thought that I picked the wrong piece, but you don't know until you get this far. And right now, that looks like the perfect piece to be turning today. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, sand it, get another coat, and I'll flip it around, turn the inside, we'll seal the inside and put the shellac on both the outside and the inside. Well, I have it flipped around. I'm kind of examining this spot here. I think that really looks nice, but I can't really keep that without having a really thick wall. I don't want to do that. So this piece of wood has kind of decided what it wants to look like, so we're going to just go with that plan. I'm going to start with a 1/2 inch bowl gouge, and we'll just start cutting here, and we'll have to see what it looks like as we cut away. I think I got about 670 RPM and a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. This is sloping this way on me, so I've got to undercut that. We'll take another pass. I'm okay with that thickness there. And I might put a little bit of light on that side, like so. Okay, so we're gonna cut back on this angle. That's angled this way. I need to kind of match that. I'm going to go over it with the negative rake scraper and get this cleaned up before I go any deeper. Not sure how that's even going to work, but let's give it a try. And if I can get in here. That's not too bad. I think that's acceptable. We'll be able to sand that. Using the 5/8 bowl gouge again. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, that looks good. That's almost a 1/2 inch. That's kind of what I'm looking for because of I do have 2 cracks on the bottom. So it needs to be cleaned up. And because of those cracks, I think the negative rake scraper works as good as anything. And I have a big knot on it, a couple big knots. So let's see if we can get this cleaned up and then we can sand it. Well, I'm going to see if I can get this sanded. I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't plan on doing it with it spinning. I've just got too many things sticking up in the air. So I'll just hold the piece. I'm going to start with 80 grit on my 2-inch disc. Just go like that and just work my way around, and I think I'll probably do the same on the bottom. Then I've already cleaned some of this up, but from this side here I'm going to go over this barkless edge that I now have. And I'm going to lean into there to try to dub this sharp corner off. So that's the process, and I'm guessing this maybe take a couple hours to get the way I want it. So I'll see you when we're done sanding, and we'll get the sanding sealer on it. So I bet I just spent an hour and a half sanding the inside of this simple little bowl. It wasn't simple. I'm going to put a coat of sanding sealer on it, same as the outside. It's the shellac based. And I'll let it sit all night. If I don't like how it looks, you never know, I might sand it off, but I don't think I'm going to have to. It doesn't look too bad. You can see I filled some more cracks. And there's no bark on here, it's just where the bark used to be. So I can just rub this on, and if I get over on the other side it's alright, because that's still just sanding sealer. Okay, I think we got it, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll go ahead and get another coat of sanding sealer here, and we'll get the shellac on, and it'll be time to remove the tenon. So, and it's getting late, so I'll see you tomorrow. Time to take the tenon off, and I think most everyone has seen that, but we'll do it again. That's actually running pretty nice. Okay, I'm going to use a 1/2-inch bowl gouge to get most of it off. That's small enough to switch to my spindle gouge now. Okay, a little bit of sanding, get some finish on there, and I'll come back and show you our little barkless wonder. Well, here it is, and despite losing the bark and having a number of cracks in there, I still really like this one. It finished 7 inches in diameter, it's 4 inches tall, and the walls are 7/16 to a half, and that base is actually about 1/4 inch thick. I used 2 coats of Zinsser seal coat, 2 coats of Zinsser shellac for the finish. So here's what I like about it. Look at the grain in there. And that crack really looks nice. This contrast here, all these little eyes right there, and you know, it all depends how you hold it. I'm looking at this upside down and I think I see a face. So you got a couple eyes here and then a crooked mouth. It is Halloween, you know. So what do you think? Is that a face? There's the inside. That is, I think, is the nicest. The green is, look at, got to get it in the light just right. Now I see another face. There's a, right there, I see a young lady there. And there's something over here too. You look at it that way, and another Halloween figure. So, I think it was well worth turning. I'm sure glad I did. Even though I tried to get rid of it a couple times because it just sat there with those cracks in it. But I'm sure glad I turned it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, do me a favor. Click that like button and feel free to leave a comment. Both of those things will really help my channel grow. I do lots of different types of turnings and you never know what might be next. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And a special thanks to all my current subscribers. You really mean a lot to me. So, till the next time, see you later.